Okay, so welcome back to the Aryan Zach channel. My name is Vedant. Today we are reporting on one of the worst places that you can actually browse on the internet. Is really fucked up place, and it is a place where propaganda brews like fucking tea every single day. There are certain moderators that will ban you for posting something that goes against their ideology, something which is really terrible if you really think about it. Because if you're constantly having the same echo chambers, you will kind of conform to those beliefs. You will become a person who is kind of the same as everyone else. You'll stop really thinking for yourself, and it will make you kind of vote against certain politicians. That is the case. It will make the country a really bad place because nobody's really out there thinking of a certain aspect. Like, they're not really thinking about facts. They are kind of thinking in a way that is biased, and biased thinking gets you nowhere. It will really fuck up the place, and it is a really serious topic. And I'm choosing to talk about it on my YouTube channel. The people don't really focus on this topic and are kind of afraid of going against Reddit. So I'm talking about Indian subreddits. Okay, the place is Reddit. I kind of was trying to hide the fact that it was Reddit in the opening sequence, but I kind of gave it away instantly. So it is called Reddit. And I'm talking about Indian subreddits in particular. So r/India, r/IndiaSpeaks, r/India News, and whatever new echo chamber that got created last week. So we're gonna tear these communities apart like bit by bit and explain to you why browsing on Reddit is kind of like the worst thing you can do in terms of propaganda. So there's a place online. This is a place where people go to feel smart, they feel patriotic, they feel like they are having conversations about real things, real politics, and almost none of it is real. I'm talking about Indian subreddits, right? Every major subreddit has a political alignment, and they don't really try to hide it like properly. It's not really hidden in a way. It is kind of obvious. It is very fucking obvious, and it just pretends that it is not obvious. It pretends that it doesn't have a political bias. R/India leans towards left liberal. If you post anything that even mildly questions their objective and questions them, you'll get downvoted into ground and be called a antbakt, which is now just a slur for someone that doesn't really agree with their ideology. Then r/India speaks leans towards the right. If you post anything critical of the government, you're called a secular or a libtard or whatever is the current thing that they like to call you. And here's the thing, right? Most of them believe that they are absolutely correct and are fixed to their ideology. They don't even take reasonable questions and reasonable doubt. They don't ask questions, they're just propaganda machines. And that is not really a debate, right? It is a factual statement. There are two mirrors that are held up against one another, and the algorithm actually rewards this. The angrier the post, the more the engagement. The more the engagement, the more it conforms to everyone on the subreddit speaking that this is the actual factual truth. It is not a form, it is a dopamine dispenser that runs on political ideology. Okay, I fixed the background, okay? It was bugging me for a second. So, mechanism number one, selective outrage. Something bad happens in India, whether it gets posted, upvoted, and turned into a natural conversation, depending entirely on who did it, which sub you're in. The same event gets framed differently and goes viral in one subreddit and gets buried in another. So, for example, if the left leaning political party does something good, then it gets criticized in the other subreddit, while it gets praised in another subreddit. And there's no problem with that, okay? If you embrace the fact that you're left leaning and right leaning, and it is in the title of the Reddit, subreddit, or whatever, that's totally acceptable. There are subreddits which are called r/conservatives or r/liberals or r/democrats in other countries. That does exist, but these subreddits try to hide that fact. They try to pretend that they are the sole truth. They try to pretend that they are actually the correct ideology. R/India should not be biased towards any political ideology. It is the subreddit for India. That's the thing that they're trying to portray. Then number two is that the credible source laundering. Someone posts a screenshot. Yeah, the same thing has been upvoted a billion times, but the problem is nobody actually reads the given article that the journalist has published. It is just community consensus.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Community consensus. Nobody read the original article, nobody checked the data, but the narrative has been laundered through enough hands that it feels legitimate. Number three, brigading and vote manipulation. This is the worst kept secret of Indian Reddit. Coordinated groups form from both sides, move into comment section and bury the dissent. You have seen this. You post a nuanced take. Within 20 minutes, you are at minus 47 upvote. No replies, silence, silent execution. That's not disagreement, that is organized suppression. They Then mechanism number four, the just asking questions soft coder. This is subtle. Someone posts, why does X community always do Y? It's phrased as curiosity, but it is a hate post with possible deniability. It gets upvoted and the comment section fills in the answer that the poster wanted. This spreads narratives. These are not organic conversations, they are engineered ones, in my opinion. They preach a certain ideology that goes against and targets a certain group of people that will be negative and breeds these echo chambers that will make you hate a particular group, which is terrible. This group has done nothing, only specific actors in that group are terrible, terrible people. It will preach the ideology that a whole group of people is rotten and this ideology is bad. They will preach the ideology that a certain religion is good or a certain religion is bad. In fact, only certain bad actors exist in the religion itself, not the entire community of that religion is the problem. Why do intelligent people get sucked up into this area? Well, because people put on labels. They browse Reddit. They are not unaware of the fact that these subreddits are politically biased and their political viewpoint gets biased and shaped by what gets upvotes, what gets downvoted in a form. And these moderators, they want that. They are being controlled or they are part of a particular organization that wants this to happen, wants this chaos. And I'm not going to call out anyone here, but the moderators are the problem. And Reddit will not do anything about these moderators because they moderate multiple communities, and if one gets banned, well, the moderation throughout the website goes to shit. So they can't really ban those people. You can see like certain examples of this on other communities. There was this fucking r slash fix or r slash drawing where a certain moderator banned a random dude for convincing someone to get printouts of their art or whatever. Like, what the fuck? And they posted like an entire video on this on YouTube. It was like a very big thing on Moist Critical. And this makes you feel like that you're well informed and you've done your research. But in fact, you've read 30 different posts by the same community. You have been in the comments, you feel engaged, but you are in the community that spreads a certain ideology and you are trying to feel that you're well informed. They're trying to make you feel that these are facts, but these are not facts. And let's talk about quality. Indian subreddits on a whole are intellectually shallow. As I say, and I say that from a person that in the past scrolled a lot on Reddit, someone who has spent a lot of time on it. The average post is either a screenshot of someone saying something stupid, a news article that has zero analysis, just the article is posted. No one actually reads the fucking article, they just read the title. Is this normal? And that is a complaint about a community that the poster dislikes, or a meme that reduces a complex political issue into a two panel image. And where's the actual thinking? Where are the comments that say this is the policy, this is what the facts are, this is the data? They don't exist, or they get deleted, or they get downvoted because nuance doesn't really feel good, right? It doesn't exist. Nuance doesn't give you the hit of being right. Nuance doesn't let you perform loyalty to your tribe. It dies every single time. And that's what happens when you're left with thousands of people who think they understand Indian politics because they have been on Reddit for 3 years. But in truth, they don't understand anything. They are just being conformationally biased towards a political ideology or a group. And that is the problem. Now, let's talk about the worst. But what you don't know is r/Indian memes or r/Indian memer is also the same thing. They are disguising political propaganda as memes, and the moderators for these subreddits are the same moderators in r/India or r/IndiaSpeaks, and they have absorbed this argument. Go, okay, do this right now. Okay, go to r/Indian memes and scroll for 15 minutes. Count how many memes are genuinely original or talk about something that is not political. You will not find it. They are all absurd. They are all about politics, or the ones that go viral are all about politics, and the rest is just low quality bullshit that some 14-year-old Indian teenager made up. I'm saying Indian like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Okay, being Indian is not a bad thing. I'm Indian. The problem is this entire fucking echo chamber that has been created due to this. Now let's talk about something different. Okay, I've rambled all about politics or whatever. Like I'm some fucking expert at it. I'm not an expert on it. I just like to think deep and call out bullshit when I see it. And one of the subreddits that I was a part of is r/Indian teenage. I'm 19 right now, so I fall into the demographic that r/Indian teenagers provides us. It is a community for Indian teenagers, a space to talk about school or college stress, relationships, or just growing up in general. In practice, it has been doing that, and it is document. Okay, and fuck, I need to articulate this perfectly as well. It is documented that it is a hunting ground. It is a hunting ground for pedophiles. And there have been multiple incidents of adults posing as teenagers into a sub to contact minors. Multiple grooming attempts, DM, DM solicitations, DM solicitation, the whole playbook on a subreddit that explicitly markets itself. That is a different problem in itself. Gonna cover this in a separate video because this video is getting very fucking long. Okay, I'm not gonna edit 30 minutes of footage. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't have enough resources. I'm just a two-person channel. Okay, and both of us are just commentators. None of us are really editors. So I'm sorry, but I cannot cover this topic. I really wanted to talk about it. But I'll do it in a separate video. So let me just talk about the conclusion part. I really suck at conclusion, but going to a subreddit and looking at the post is not being well informed. Going and talking about propaganda on these subreddits is not being well informed. Going through social media and viewing political posts is not being well informed. What actual well informed means is studying. Is studying what actual politics is, studying the biases. It is studying philosophy. It is studying psychology. It is studying political theory. You're not going to go anywhere by just looking at news or looking at journalist articles. Socrates has a problem with democracy in a way that the voters are biased due to fake political ideologies that get preached and lies. To combat that, you need to study philosophy, you need to study political theory, you need to study psychology of people, and that is how you can escape this and be actually